Cool, we are live. Welcome. I think my sound is good. Let me know if my sound is good. Welcome, Popano. We got Kim, we got Helen, Michelle. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate y'all being here. All right, so I am Tarot Oracle, and we are going to do some general reading tips. Now, these are going to be tips that you can use for basically any readings, but I mean, general readings is kind of where I'm at. The issue that we have with general readings is you have nothing to go on. So you're kind of wandering out there in the middle of the ocean, and you just got to go just best guess because you don't know where you're headed, what the destination is. A lot of confusion with general readings, and I think that's a valid point because you don't have anything to go on. So if I ask you, where is my relationship headed with Fred or whatever, you're going to be able to say, okay, well, I have sort of a guide. I have a pathway to follow. Let me look and see what the cards say. But for a general, it could be literally anything. It could be issues with family. It could be love relationships. It could be some work related things. It could be their car's breaking down next month. You have no idea where to go from here. So I think there are a couple of ways to handle this. We have a big section of slides. We have a lot of details, probably too much detail, but I'm a too much detail kind of Virgo guy. So that's the way it goes. Anyway, so let's go forth and basically say the first thing I want you to know, the first thing you got to kind of understand is basically your best option against figuring out how to go through this is going to be a tarot spread book. And I hate to say that, because a lot of people are like, that's an easy way out. And I'm like, yes, it is. But I mean, bottom line is a tarot spread book for general readings is going to get you a lot of good stuff. It's going to have stuff like maybe past, present, future slots. The slots in the spread is what brings it good, right? Is what brings everything in here. So having a slot that says, here is your future, or here is basically what's going to happen with your job or how you do things, and then I put a card in that slot, now I can sort of go for something. Now I have a place to go. In other words, I have something to follow, because I think just throwing cards down randomly, you don't have anything to follow, but there you go. Now that you have a slot that means work, now I can tell you what about work. So and I hate to say this, but in general, your best option is probably going to be some tarot spreads. We have a lot of books on tarot spreads, 1001 spreads, 365 spreads, big old book of tarot spreads, blah, 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 blah. So tarot spreads is going to be your friend. Joe, welcome. Christina with a K. Andrew, Popano, Zimmy, Maruta, Goddess Energy, Star Bright, Ashley, welcome everybody. I appreciate y'all being here. Bardman, what's going on? So that said, that's an easy way out. Let's go into some more advanced stuff. Let's go into a little bit thicker information, more about what you kind of want to know here. The first thing that we're going to go into is going to be a little bit more detailed than I would like to start out with. So we're going to skip to slide 15 for now. Slide 15 would basically look at directional trends or trends with graphics. In other words, a lot of cards have good graphics in them. You have a lot of fantastic cards like the Wizard's Tarot, the Light Seer's Tarot. You have a ton of tarot with a lot of extra stuff in it that you can use to pull out some information for a general spread. So a lot of things will show a family, or they'll show a conflict, or they'll show sort of job related type of things happening. So you do have graphical sort of follow the leads with graphics. I think that's going to be a good thing for you to do. Now we're going to come back to that, but we do want to go to slide 2 real quick and just sort of say where we're going. Number one thing that you can do to help yourself out, Caroline, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
I'm fine. You?
I'm doing good. We're live for a lot of people today, so it's not just Patreon only stream. By the way, this is a Patreon only stream normally, but today I wanted to do it public because a lot of people have been asking about this. I wanted to get a lot of people's questions, a lot of people's input. I think it'd be valuable for today because this is a pretty hot topic. A lot of people look at general spreads and their eyes gloss over. They're just like, I have no idea what to do. So let's go through the methods. Astrology walking. Basically, how can we use astrology in a general reading to give us some help? A graphical theme. What can we do? Maybe it's colors, the meaning of colors. Maybe it's numerology. Maybe there's a lot of things that we can use for the graphic type of thing. Maybe a lot of dark cards, a sort of a sad future. Maybe a lot of bright cards, things are brightening up, et cetera, et cetera. A graphical theme with a lot of people in it. Could be a lot of interaction with people, a lot of things happening with that. Majors, minors, anything that's all majors, it could be something big is coming. Minors, it could be sort of a day to day, we're going through sort of. And a lot of times minors are overlooked because minors can mean, yeah, we have a day to day things you need to take care of, but these are becoming important. Because a lot of time, day-to-day things, like I have a project at work, right? It's due next month. If I do nothing on it for 15 days, I'm probably have a serious problem. You have to get started on day-to-day things. You have to get day-to-day things going. That includes work. That includes relationships. If you neglect a marriage day-to-day, if you're just miserable in it, if you do nothing, eventually that's going to come back and haunt you. So majors and minors, minors are actually important because they talk about the day-to-day habits that we do every day. And I think that is going to come back to haunt you if you just neglect some of that. So minors are important. Obviously, majors going to have a little more lean, but that is the way it is. Noel and KD and Aled, welcome. Rowan's Impressions and Irene, welcome everybody. Appreciate that. Helen, how are you doing? We're going to look about card continuity. Are the cards going to be a set in stone kind of thing with numerology, card continuity when you're talking about the tree of life? We're going to go into that as well. Court card crowding. If I have a ton of court cards, where is that going to lead me? Where is that going to take me? And prior knowledge. If YouTube user comes in, wants a general reading, and I have some things about a new love coming. I know that YouTube user looking for new love. We all know that YouTube users looking for new love. Or a job thing. I can tell YouTube user about their job. They're thinking about switching jobs. So having prior knowledge about someone or some situation or something is going to help out quite a bit. All right. Let's go into, I don't know where to start. We're going to go into the advanced first, and I apologize, but that's the way I go. A decan or deacon, I've heard it both ways, walk. So we're going to talk about walking through astrology and things like that. Now, if your eyes are already glazing over with the first slide, well, you can take away what you will. But we have help. I have help. I have assistance that I can bring for your eyes glazing over. Let's go to some things that are going to help us out with astrology. And this one right here is I kind of like. This is a Thoth Tarot astrological correspondence. So this is going to get you your decans. This is going to get you, okay, you got 4, 5, 6 of swords. It's going to be over here. That's going to be over here in Capricorn, or that's going to be over here in, the 5 of cups, 6 of cups, 7 of cups. That's going to be sneaking over here in our lovely hashtag not all Scorpios. So you do have things that will help you out in this regard. And this person gave me this to sort of advertise here. So this person is called Brendition. They make this. You can get a poster with it, whatnot. So you can have a poster that hangs. Not sponsored. They just gave it to me. I was like, cool. I'll take it. But this is something that you could use that are going to give you a little bit of help, right? A tree of life poster, whatever. And they do have other options if you're not a fan of Brendition or you don't want this. We have reading the tarot. You have a lot of posters that you can mount, that you can put on your wall and things like that. Christina says, I don't understand astrology at all. Good news, Christina. I have videos that explain the whole thing. So your eyes don't have to glaze over. I have videos that explain it pretty clearly. Anyway, so you can get assistance with this if your eyes do glaze over. So that's okay. But let's talk about if you understand how decans work, if you understand deacons work, whatever. Okay, let's look at Pisces. All right. Pisces is going to have the 10 of cups, the 9 of cups, the 8 of cups. So if I put down a tarot spread and I see basically numerologically, I see an 8, 9, and a 10 of the same suit. Or I see in this spread somewhere, I see an 8 of cups up here, a 9 of cups down here, a 10 of cups over on another slot. I'm seeing kind of a Pisces feel. And this is where your charts come in. Good news is you don't have to memorize all this crap. Again, you just get a poster or get something and print it out, make your own poster, whatever you need to do so that you have a reference. You don't have to memorize this, but you do need to say, hey, I'm seeing a very big trend here. And also, this is going to give you dates, right? March 1 through 10, March 11th through 20th. Because a lot of times, maybe KD will ask, hey, I'm looking for this apartment. When am I looking at this date? And you get this sort of a trend up here for a deck and walk. You get some of these things in Pisces. Now, you know that it is going to be a Pisces feel, Pisces lean. And maybe you have some dates. Again, that's what your chart is for. So in tarot, it's always good to have one of these things handy. Again, it's not just going to kill you. I think this card, reading tarot poster, the big one that I just showed you is $9. If you want to get this dude's poster, it is $11. So, I mean, you're not gonna like break the bank for $11, $9 for a poster. You know, you put it on your wall. Anyway, this is the kind of thing here. So you have dates you can pull, you have signs that you can pull, you have stars that you can pull, and it all sort of relates back to tarot cards. And this is kind of the way tarot cards have worked from the beginning. You're looking at astrology associations with cards. That's where some of the meanings come in with the Golden Dawn. It's where a lot of the meanings come in with the Thoth tarot, stuff like this. So you're looking at a lot of information. Again, maybe eyes glaze over. That's what a $10 poster is for. You're not going to die with a $10 poster spending the money. I would go ahead and get something. I think that's going to help you a lot. Again, don't try to memorize this. You're going to die. Okay, so we have a Pisces feel for this. This is going to be an emotional time. Maybe this is something with a Pisces, kind of maybe some instability as far as it goes. I mean, you do have an 8, walking into a 9 or 10, instability is getting better or whatnot. We can also do, sticking with astrology, we can also do something like a sign walk. So we have a deck and walk, which I agree is advanced, probably not the best choice for slide 2, but I mean, that's me. I'm a Virgo. I'm like, ooh, look at that. It's buy a $10 poster. Yay. Okay. Anyway, but the sidewalk, same kind of thing. I mean, you're looking at Aries, you're looking at Cancer here. So you have love card at the end. You have the stability of the 4 of Wands, but you're sticking with a sign. You're sticking with Venus here. So you have Venus in the various slots. So now we have a Venus kind of thing. What is Venus? You're looking at maybe money. You're looking at definitely love, definitely emotion, things pulling us in that direction. We can relate this back to the Empress. Empress has a massive Venus sign on her little heart pillow that's on the ground. So we can work this back to a sign. So again, this is why you have the lookup items of a poster, or you just sort of know it. Or you can have decks that'll have it in there, right? I mean, we have the Tarot Oracle Ciro Marchetti deck conveniently has everything on there. So you don't have to memorize anything if you get like some of these. So, you're just going to look at that. So here are your signs, here are your planets, what have you. So, I mean, you're all set if you just get a deck that has some of this embedded in it. And so it doesn't have to be vomitous to where, it takes up half the card or something like that. You can get some pretty casual stuff. And it's not that much to look up. It's not that much to memorize. You just kind of know what Pisces looks like. I kind of know what the feel of this looks like. Anyway, so it is a matter of maybe get a deck with your signs in it. I don't got to screw with it anymore. But I mean, you can look at this. If I get 3 Pisces in a row, if I get 3 Venuses in a row, I know where the trend is going. And I can understand kind of where I'm going with this. In addition to this deck, the Thoth has signs built in. There are 30, 40 different decks with signs that are embedded in here as well. You can also get dice that'll have the signs, that'll have the planets or what have you in there. So you don't have to sort of diddle with that. So again, I was talking about the Thoth. The Thoth has the symbology on here. It has all their stuff in here. So you can see on the Thoth deck, you also have planets and signs as well. So there you go. So that is going to help you out as far as this. But we're just looking at trends right now. Where are we going to trend? What are we going to do here? And the idea right now is that I clicked the wrong thing. The idea right now is we're trending on things. So maybe we're trending into Pisces for this read. I see a lot of Pisces. Maybe we're trending into Venus for this read. I see a lot of Venus. So you can use that as well. Let's talk about something else that's advanced because, again, I'm a Virgo and half y'all's eyes have already glazed over and you went to do laundry or something. But I mean, come back. We're making dedicated videos on this stuff. I already have astrology videos that go through this thing. So we're going to make some good animated videos. We're going to cover all of these advanced topics and whatnot. But we're just looking on what to lean on, all the information that we can pull out of a general reading. And again, like I said, you're looking at spreads are going to be your main thing. You're looking at trends, graphical trends, a lot of dark cards, maybe a lot of majors, a lot of minors. So again, we're in the advanced modalities. We're looking at all fixed cards here. Did you know that? That's kind of cool. We have all fixed cards here. What's the difference between fixed and cardinal, right? What is the difference? Fixed is going to be a little bit more Taurus feel, a little bit more, I'm not moving. I'm not going to negotiate this out. I'm going to do it my way. So it's going to be hard to pull this person away, right? Popano, thank you for being a new member. But yeah, the Six of Pentacles, you are talking about giving. We're a little bit defensive, maybe about the giving. The Six of Cups, we have giving again. We have a couple of giving cards. But you see the modality here is fixed. We are going to be pretty adamant about giving what I want to give and not just something random. So if somebody asks for, I don't want coins, I want $2 bills, whatever. I would be like, no, you're going to get coins. This is what we're going to do. This is how it is. So you are looking at fixed, right? Marie there are fixed signs. So you can sort of you can sort of go back to the previous slide with that, right? You are looking at a Sidewalk. Maybe you have a Taurus, Leo, and a Scorpio. They're all fixed signs. So the modality also has to do with this, with the numbers as well. So here is kind of, so you can trend away from one modality into another modality, et cetera, et cetera. You can also do that with your signs. You can also do that with the planets, whatnot. Fixed is going to be, I'm not really going to change much. Mutable, not so much. That is going to be your key here. Mutable is going to be a little bit more lenient. So in this read, maybe we're going from a couple of fixed cards into more mutable situations. So I was hard-lined about it. This is the way it is. I'm not moving. I'm not doing anything to change. And then I'm trending over later on to mutable. So I have past, present, future. The past and present, you have been fixed. You have been sort of very adamant about what you need to do, how you need to do it. Now you're going to be a little bit more mutable, a little bit more casual about it. So in addition to obviously reading the cards here, you're looking at a general read. You have giving, defensive, maybe about the giving. You end up in a more stable situation. That's kind of the read, right? Now you have more stuff to pull on. So you have fixed into mutable. So you look at a modality trend. Maybe I'm mutable into fixed. Maybe I was very lenient. Maybe I was very casual about this stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm like, whatever. Anyway, there are things to make it better. So here's a cheat sheet as far as numbers are concerned. Now, Marie is very patiently, thank you, Marie, pointing to mutable signs, cardinal signs, fixed signs. So you have that in addition to this. But there you go. Modality cheat sheet, something quick, right? 2, 3, 4 is going to be cardinal. 5, 6, 7 is fixed. 8, 9, 10 is going to be mutable. So so this gets into the sticky situation of what I concentrate on, because what if I have a 6, 7, and an 8? Do I go for that? But then they're Pisces, and then one is Aries. I got a Libra and a Capricorn. So you got to kind of figure out what you're going to focus on, what you're going to concentrate on when you start doing this. So that's going to be something too. So if you see a lot of Pisces, and then you're looking into fixed versus mutable into fixed. Again, this is advanced. I'm sorry, but whatever. But you came for this. I'm a Virgo. You knew this was going to happen. This is not like a surprise car wreck on your way home from work. You knew this was going to happen. So anyway, but yeah, so you are looking at maybe the signs are going to be fixed versus mutable. Maybe the signs in here. So I have a lot of Pisces. Maybe that is going to be something that's more mutable, but you have numbers as well. That's going to be mutable, fixed, and what have you. So let's look at this. So a general cheat sheet for this is going to be 2, 3, 4 going to be cardinal. 5, 6, 7 is going to be fixed. Mutable is going to be there. Okay. So there are a little bit of that. And you can look up modalities. You can get on Wikipedia and read all about it, understand how modalities work. I think you should add things like this into your readings, because I think it is very valuable indeed. So you could get the sheet from here. I mean, you can get the happy sheet. You can use that. So we can go back to this sheet here. We can see, hey, we got a 10 of wands, or sorry, you got a 2, 3, 4 of discs. You know, we're sort of leaning into the December, January time frame, et cetera, et cetera. So stuff like this is going to help you out quite a bit. This isn't just for thought. We can obviously use this for other things as well. All right, so that is going to be there. So let us go to the next slide. Now you're looking at elements, which is a lot of people are going to be looking at this. Elemental persistence. I have a lot of pentacles. Maybe it's a work rating. Maybe I'm really concerned about stability right now. Maybe I have a lot of instability. Maybe all these cards are upside down. I'm going to have to sort of deal with that pentacle feel. And I think that does lean you in particular directions. A lot of times you'll be in a direction of, this is a work reading, right? This is work reading. This is going to be a love reading. Obviously, if we're going to pull things like 2 of Cups, lovers, 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, or something like that, I think you're looking at elemental persistence being something that's going to be important here. So 7 of Pentacles for this read, for a general read. 7 of Pentacles, I have been saving for the future. I have been putting things aside. I have been going forth and making this happen, right? You got an 8. This is going to be something that is pretty persistent. This is going to be something that I need to be doing on a regular basis. 7, we're just sort of starting it out. 8, we have a pretty steady workload and things like that. And then the 10, it comes about and it's very positive. All right. But you still have elemental persistence. This is going to be difficult to translate this maybe into love or something like that. So sometimes I see you flipped cards. Why do you do that? I don't know. What you mean? I'd have to see the particular instance. If it's all upside down, I usually don't do that. I usually flip them. But there you go. Do you do private teaching? Sure, why not? Message me. Anyway, link in the description for whatever. A lot of these videos that I'm referring to, where I'm teaching you about numerology, where I'm teaching you about elemental stuff, I'm teaching about astrology. I put the links in the description for you, so you don't have to wander too far away. We got, let's see, that's not the pixel thing is a wrong thing. Let's see where I'm at. Okay, so this video here, you're looking at, about it down there, we got the handout for this lesson is down there. The handout is down, link in the description, get it for free. Tarot and the Seasons link is down there. Numerology link is down there. So we got videos of where to go to get time frames for stuff, court cards, all of that stuff, links down there to get you started on this stuff. So elemental persistence, if you have a lot of Cups, if we have a lot of Pentacles and things like that. You can also trend. We're trending from Cups into Pentacles. Maybe this is something that was emotional, but it's becoming more stable. So, right. So you have sort of that element in sort of a element of water into something that's going to be more stable. Or you have majors into a minor, or sort of where the trends are. You could have obvious stuff as well, sort of the ending of something. So you can sort of translate that around, right? So you have a major in the middle, maybe. We're going with KW. Welcome to the stream. How you doing?
I'm good.
Cool. So we are on public today. This is not a Patreon stream. But anyway, this Patreon stream, by the way, is every week. So if you want to join Patreon and get a lesson every week, I do that. This is public today to give you all kind of a look-see about this. A lot of y'all have been asking about this, so we're going with that. Anyway, let's go for solo layout here. So you have an element transition from Cups into Swords, from water into air. Is this going to be something that is going to be important, right? That we have a sort of a stable kind of thing where we're happy. We have a lot of good emotions. We have changes that are affecting that, moving into a termination, maybe a termination of the good times, maybe a termination of the emotions. But the emotions are being swayed. The emotions are being moved. We're grabbing one thing and we're affecting it with more cards. So I think that's going to be important as well. So you have kind of that motion from one element into another element. And a lot of times we'll have a transition card, somebody that's going to help us along the way. Maybe it's the death card. Maybe it is the fool card where I'm ready to do something. Maybe it's a court card where the king of wands, the coordination, the mastery, the fiery element, the mastery of what we're doing is going to get us into the termination or get us into the conclusion of the thing as well. So sometimes you have a transitional card from one element into the next. But the bottom line is a lot of times you just have one element into the next being the way you have to do it. So that is something else to think about as far as that goes. All right, let's go back to the slides. Go to the next one. We got about 16 slides, I think. Other thing to look at is going to be numerology. And I do have a numerology guide that is out there, a link, I believe, in the description for that. So you're looking at numerology being important as well. So if I have a lot of fours, you're looking at security, completion, satiation, having enough, right? Again, link in the description if you want to see that video. 5 is going to be chaos, conflicts, and change. So you're looking at from a 4 into a 5, you're looking at walking over from one thing into the next. We have a little bit of completion. We're satiated. We have everything that we need. We don't really want any more. Maybe that leads us into change. A lot of times you will have a situation where you're looking at, things being secure. We're looking at, I got everything that I need, right? 4 of wands. I have the stability of the 4 of wands. The 4 of cups. I have the stability of that, where I just really don't want anything else. I'm happy where I'm at. And I think that is going to be important as well. But now we're moving into a little bit of change, looking in a little bit of chaos, maybe some conflicts with that. Could it be that the security having enough, we got too comfortable, right? Maybe we're just too comfortable. Maybe we're just not ready for anything drastic or anything dramatic. So you are looking at possible changes, some conflicts, some things happening with that. But yeah, the numerology video is in the link as well in the description. So you can lean on numerology for this. So let's say I have a lot of 5s. It's time for change. I have a lot of 5s on the table. It is time for change. And you can have 5s in some important parts. You can have 5s in a slot for Popino. Thank you very much for your sub on Patreon. I appreciate that. You can have conflict. You can have change. You can have a lot of trends towards that. So if I have a lot of 5s, you need to look at that. It's not something you can really ignore. I'm not just going to say, hey, I got a 5 of cups and then have a 5 of swords and have a 5 of wands. You can't really just say, okay, well, it looks like you're going to have a conflict with the 5 of wands and you're going to be disappointed. You have to sort of look at the overall feel of the numerology here. We are looking at change. We're looking at conflicts. This is something where you have to prepare. And I think that's going to be important for a general reading. We need to have the ability to look at there is going to be change, there is going to be conflict, or look at something like there is going to be security and completion. Because a lot of times we have a big project at work, right? Let's say we're reading YouTube User again. I use YouTube User because probably my most prominent person on every stream. But we're looking at YouTube User. You're looking at, they want security completion. They want to have enough. And they're looking at changing their job. And if they have that security there, I think they're going to be more stable and more ready for the upgrade to a new job than if I just have a bunch of 5s on the table. So I think that is something that we need to lean on, numerology. Now, there are 150 numerology books. They all say different crap, unfortunately, literally say different things. That's why I made the video in the description. And I have a handout in the description that will let you know what numbers mean what, and kind of what basically I bought all of them, and I have just this massive 3-foot stack of numerology books. But I went through them and I said, okay, what's common through here? In addition, what are we looking at on the tarot? Because a lot of the numerology is not really tarot based. A lot of numerology is like, okay, this is numerology. I have a little a system that's going to get you to where you want to be. If you add these numbers and this number, you add up your blood type, how many times you've used a bathroom today, plus your birthday, whatever. And you end up with a number. So there's a lot of the numerology books with that. So that's why I kind of make my own video. I was just like, okay, let me go through these. Let me see what the hell is the difference, because this is very confusing. And I think a lot of people would get that it is confusing indeed. Another obvious thing we're going to lean on is raw card reading. Okay. You like me, you're doing a stream and you only have room for 4 cards, right? You only have room for 4 cards. on the street. Some people ask me, why do you have 4 cards on a reading? Well, that's all I have room for on the camera. So that happens. Sometimes you can't do a big, massive spread sometimes, or maybe you have too many people or whatever. You can't do the big, massive stuff anymore. So you have the 2 of Cups, love, or meeting somebody. 10 of Swords, maybe that is not the best option for us. Maybe it is going to be temporary. Hello, Kitty. What's the kitty's name, Carolyn? You're on mute.
Sorry. It's well, I don't remember the name.
Oh.
Chupet.
Chupet. There you go.
Yeah.
That's a cute kitty. I got a black kitty as well. So I named mine Salem. My girlfriend wanted to name Salem after the
Salem.
The Teenage Witch show. Empress Queen, welcome. How you doing? Good to see you. It's Sunshine Day. If I didn't already say hello to you, well, hello. Anyway, so you have a 2 of Cups into a 10 of Swords. We have a termination of something. Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That's it. Gene, thank you. It's a little short-term relationship here. A little heartbreak involved as well. Be prepared for some change, conflict in this reading as well. And then you have they have a 3 of Wands. It's time for somebody new. So we have a nice little short-term relationship coming up for you. Look at the raw card reading. Always works great. You don't have anything to worry about in raw card readings. I mean, that's going to be the mainstay there. So, sometimes you just want to do, you can't do past, present, future, and then extra future, or maybe the present is 2 cards, whatever you want to do. But I recommend spreads. I love spreads. The problem is there's just too many. So get yourself some really good spreads. Get yourself some stable, some decent spreads where you love where they are, you love what they're doing. This is going to be the spread that you're going to use for the rest of your life, and just do all of that. You have a black cat too, Christina with a K. What is your black cat's name? We got to get all the names up in here. All right. I would be negligent if I didn't mention the Tree of Life. I said it was going to be advanced. You knew it was going to be advanced. The Tree of Life is something where, you're going to have to study this for a long time. There are books that will cover this. This is nothing I'm going to be able to cover in the smidgen of time that we have here today for this little live. But that is something that you do need to lean on. You do need to look at as a Tree of Life. And again, I know it's complex. But if I have 2 cards that are on the Tree of Life, and they're straight, they're leaning on the Tree of Life in the same direction, or I got a chair and a hanged man. And I'm looking at this. I'm like, wait a minute. That's on the left side of the Tree of Life. It's the 3, the 5, and the 8. That is interesting. So I see another trend that I need to discuss with my client, or with the person that's asking, the query, what have you. So the Tree of Life is going to be another thing you're going to need a poster of. So far, we need you to buy 2 posters, apparently. Or we need you to print a Tree of Life poster, which is available literally everywhere. And get another poster for decans and astrology and all that good stuff. So we will be reviewing some of these posters online. And again, if you want to get the poster, I just showed it at the beginning of the stream, you can rewind. So Tree of Life, if I see some trend on the Tree of Life, everything. So I have a couple of majors, and I'm trending in a direction. I'm sort of going in a direction on the Tree of Life. That direction is important. That pathway is important. And it says something. It says something that is going to be important for y'all to know. So this is another poster that you're going to need. Go ahead and they're free everywhere. Just a matter of printing it out. So that's the problem with posters. Like if I print it myself, it's kind of more expensive than if I just buy it from some random dude. But it depends on the poster. Hashtag not all posters. But you put your TO with spreads posted on this wall during live. There's actually nothing on my wall. I'm really boring. I'm like a boring human being. There's I have paintings on what am I saying? I got paintings all on my wall. But other than my paintings, I got squat. So, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. I have most of this where I'm just no, because I've been doing this for so long. Anyway, Merlin, name of your, there you go. That's perfect. Ishabad, there you go. We got a lot of Black Cats Unite. Black Cats Unite. So there we go. So Tree of Life is going to be something else that you're going to kind of want to trend. Tree of Life is pretty easy to look and see a trend and know what that pathway means and whatnot. So there is another thing you got to memorize, because you can't have enough to memorize. It is tarot. And a lot of people are like, Oh, tarot is so easy. Oh no, I digress. That is not. That I disagree. I respectfully disagree. This crap has a lot to it if you dive deep enough into it. Anyway, let's look at all majors. Gonna be something big. It'll be something good. So if you're looking for a general, what are the majors doing? Where are they leaning me? Again, if you do have all majors, you definitely want to see if we're trending on the tree, where we're kind of at in the tree. We sort of wandering around the middle, wandering around on the side, all that other stuff. So Christina, no, don't feel dumb. This is very advanced stuff, but I'm a Virgo, so I'm going to cover it. But I will have additional lessons where you can learn this stuff and make it a little bit easier for you guys. So that's why, again, in the link in the description, I have numerology. I have a need for a drink of water and a lot of other things. So yeah, so I'm going to be making more videos. I'm going to have videos with spreads. I'm going to have videos with explaining tree of life, explaining more into astrology, diving deeper into astrology, whatnot. So that is going to be something else that comes up. See, that's why you subscribe to the channel. If you're not, hit that like and sub button. You are missing out. You are literally missing out because there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff on this channel. So there you go. All right. Let's go to the next one. We're looking at minors, major minors again. And again, minors are neglected. I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream if you weren't there. Minors are neglected. Okay, I got a project at work. It's due in a month. If I do nothing for 15 days, I'm going to have a problem. I'm going to have a serious problem because now it is a major reading. It's not a minor reading anymore. But I had a month to do it. Literally, it should have taken X amount of time, but I have to have approvals. I have to do some research. I have to rely on other people. That takes time. But it literally is a minor thing. You're thinking to yourself, I could probably do this in like 4 days max. Problem is, you have other people you're relying on. You have permissions you need to get to other things. But I'm just saying, minors are not that minor. If you neglect stuff, if you neglect your marriage, if you neglect your girlfriend, if you neglect your relationships with your friends, we've all had friends that we've neglected. We just haven't gone out. We haven't partied with the girlfriend, boyfriends. And then we haven't gone and got a beer. We haven't gone and eaten with them in forever. We hardly ever see them anymore. They don't call us anymore now, do they? When we need them, they'll be like, You have to get the details done. Like training at work is another example. You don't do training at work. You're like, that's so simple. I'm just going to click and take a test at the end of this training. It'll take me 10 minutes max. You put it off. Right? Now you have 7 or 9 of them. And now all of a sudden it's an emergency because you're late, because you forgot about it, because you were, this only takes me 10 minutes. Don't neglect the easy stuff, as a previous boss said. Don't neglect the easy stuff. Get your training done. Get the stuff started on time. The minors are that type of thing. It's not that minor. If you neglect it, you're going to have issues. It's the Two of Swords. If you neglect the separation here, you're going to have issues. If you don't make any choices with the Two of Pentacles, you've already made a choice. It may not be the right one. You have to think it through. You have to make the vital choice. Two of Pentacles is not a card to play around with. It's not a major, so I'm not going to focus on it. Wrong. Two of Pentacles will come and bite you in the butt. 10 of Pentacles as well. Such a nice card and all this other stuff. Now, I have been talking for literally like forever. Does anybody have any questions? Because I'm kind of out of slides at this point. I got a couple more slides. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. Carolyn, KW, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, that's easy. Anybody in chat have any questions? We had like 50 people watching a minute ago. Well, thank you for 50 people watching. I mean, watching me. You have better things to do with your life, but hey, I appreciate you spending time with me. All right, anyway. Red, blue, green, purple, pink, yellow, orange, magenta, whatever, right? Silver, white. At some point, you have to also look at colors, especially if you have something like a TDM, TDM minors, which doesn't have a lot of information in it. I'm sorry. It doesn't have people standing there with a bunch of things. That's going to be so important. But yeah, red, blue. You're gonna have to sort of learn what colors mean. And there are books on colors, color theory, color psychology, right? There's a reason it's bright red and yellow at McDonald's. They want you to get the hell out. It's, there's a lot of psychology around colors. There's reason that colors exist, and there's reasons that corporations use colors. You need to learn at least some of those. Obviously, you can get, I don't know, you want to get a third poster. Sure, why not? Another $10 poster on color. No, I mean, you sort of need to understand the basics of colors. I think you can pick it up one at a time. Not going to be something that's major, no pun intended, to get through, right? Blue, loyalty, trust, peace, power. Red's going to be a little bit more energy and things like that. So a lot of stuff we can pick up. Yeah, Emperor's Cream. Maybe we can throw sacred geometry in there. I mean, but yeah, chakra associations. We can throw, again, tarot is not that easy once you start diving deep into it. The good news is you can just use your intuition, throw a tarot deck down on the table and just go ham, and that is that's going to be the end of your tarot relationship. But if you want to go deeper, if you're a little bit of Virgo queen, a little bit of a Virgo, and you like the details like me, well, we can dive into all of this stuff. And I am going to make a color video as well. So we're going to explain all this over time. But I do want to come up and just sort of show you some of these details in here. We have directional trends, right? My favorite thing to talk about, card movement, card interaction. This is sort of an easy way to sneak into a little bit of the detailed stuff, ain't it? Card interactions, because it's fun. We have people moving towards the right. We're moving into the future. We're not hanging out in the past anymore. We have a definite move in this read towards the future. If the right is the future, I don't know. Maybe if you're left-handed, the left's the future. Hell if I know. But yeah, the right is the future. We're just going to say for now. And there you go. We're going to go to the right. We have a directional trend towards the right. We can have card interactions again. My site is literally full of card interaction videos. So my readings are literally full of card interactions. My books are full of card interactions. So yeah, we've shoved that down your throat for 12 years now. I think you got the hint. But yeah, we have directional trends. We got card interactions. We can use this as well for this type of stuff. Am I on? How many slides we got? We still got more slides. Jesus. Okay. Now let's look at graphics inside your card. This is why we chose tarot in the first place, right? We chose tarot to get the cool cards. We have the Gregory Scott Tarot. It's got bukus of extra stuff in there. We picked up the Wizard's Tarot. Bukus of extra stuff in there to look at. Ooh, I got a lot of books. Maybe this is an informational type of thing. I got somebody being stabbed. I got somebody being poisoned in the Gregory Scott Tarot. There is extra information in these decks, and that's why we love tarot cards in the first place. We love all the extra information. Unless you're on the Pixel Tarot. A lot of people are making fun of the Pixel Tarot, but I mean, Pixel Tarot doesn't really have a lot of extra information. It just has less information, but I still love it. I still love you, Pixel Tarot. No, hashtag not all tarots. But yeah, the Blooming Cat Tarots. We have lots and lots of extra stuff all in these tarot decks that we can use. And that's kind of where I oriented mine towards when you look at my tarot decks that I use, right? Because I have tons and tons of extra stuff in mine. Tasty Tarot has tons and tons of extra stuff in there. So we'll use a Tasty Tarot today. We'll use a Tasty Tarot for an example. I use my old tarot so often, but heck. But we have extra stuff in the Tasty Tarot. There's somebody being thrown off on the sun. What can I use that for? We have a little bit of Ace of Pentacles. We have a little bit of a threat from the Ace of Pentacles. Is this new job going to be a little bit of a threat? Is this going to be something that we don't want? Is this going to be bigger than life? We have the Ten of Cups. Is this an edible relationship? No, I'm just kidding. Eight of Swords. Do we feel at least too trapped? Do we feel somebody else has trapped us with that? So we have a lot of information here, right? Seven of Wands. We're defensive. That's fine, but we have multiple things to be defensive about. We seem to be on a place where we can't escape. We seem to be that. We seem to be distressed about it. So that's just why we love tarot in the first place. We have all of the extra symbology, all the extra stuff. The angel with no eyeball and the devil's eating the eyeball. I don't know where you're going to go with that, but that's up to you. The dog is drinking sort of the water that has been spilled from, anyway. So you have all of this extra stuff, and that's where we like to be. That's why we love tarot so much, because we get to choose our own card. So obviously, don't ignore the symbology within your favorite decks, because that is why you chose them. That is why you chose them. Another thing is going to be determining time. A lot of general reads. What's the first thing they say? I read for KD. I read for KD. I say, KD, you're going to meet somebody interesting. They're going to give you $1,000. What's the first thing out of KD's mouth? When the hell am I going to meet this $1,000 guy? I mean, that's the first thing out of KD's mouth. When am I going to meet him? Now we're stuck with determining time. You're never going to escape this. You're literally never going to escape this. Time determination. How are we going to do that? What are we going to do? Where are we going to walk for with time? We got many things. Link in the description for a time video where I determine time. We have tarot in the seasons. I have a video on determining time from tarot. Search for the word time. I will give you the information down there. Anyway, links in the description for all of this stuff, including the handout that I'm showing you right now. Moon phases. A lot of people throw out the moon. They'll be like, we got but moon phases matter. Moon phases really matter, right? A full moon. We all know the full moon matters. Everybody knows the full moon matters. How many weird freaking things have I? The weirdest. We had a full moon, the last full moon. I had somebody walk up to me. I'm like putting my girlfriend's dogs. I like took them out to go pee or something. I'm coming back in. This random dude walks up and goes, "Can I take your dogs?" I'm like, "No, piss off." Like this random dude comes up at this apartment complex to kind of take your dogs. I'm like, what? No. Like, what? And then I went walking, and some dude on the balcony is like shining this really powerful flashlight in my eyes. I'm like, what the hell's going? This is a full moon. We've all had these type of things. So full moon, new moon, crescent moon. You got all of this stuff all over the place in your tarot cards. You see this, you're going to have to know kind of the phase, how long you're looking. A moon is also going to be, obviously, about a month. So you could look at a month for the moon. You could look at a few things for that, right? Maybe it's a full moon and you got a couple of fours next to it. Maybe you're looking at 4 months. So you sort of look at that. Moon phases are important. This is another thing that you have to sort of deal with as well. Link in the description for what you're seeing on the screen, which is Tarot and the Seasons. Very detailed video explaining Tarot and the Seasons. Talk about decans in here as well. Ms. Rocky, thank you for your donation. I appreciate y'all. By the way, no stream tonight. I got to go entertain my girlfriend. So this is the only stream y'all get. I'm sorry, but I'll be back tomorrow night. Anyway, 0 degrees Aries, beginning of spring. So if you have some cards will indicate the beginning of a season, and that is awesome and amazing. Coco, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. So there's something else that you have to sort of look at, maybe memorize or whatnot. Again, I got a video that explains it. The good news is you don't have to dive into all of this at once and just pull your hair out. You can get into it very slowly. You can say, I kind of like the color thing. I think it's, McDonald's does have bright red and bright yellow because they want me to get the hell out, right? So you kind of got a feel of that. Let me look. Let me go into find some color theory. I'll learn what that is. You don't have to dive deep into all of this. You don't have to get the fancy posters, what have you. Anyway, but again, a video, link in the description for the Tarot and the Season. So if you are looking, because a lot of people, KD is going to be like, when I'm going to meet the $1,000 person. And I'm going to pull the 2. I'm going to say, look, it's going to be spring. It's going to be the beginning of spring, right? You're going to be exactly maybe spring. Springtime is when you're going to have that. Springtime is when you're going to have something happen. Springtime is when you're going to get the new job, when you're going to sell your house. So a lot of people, you can lean into this. This is not that hard. This is probably one of the easier videos to sort of absorb and what have you. So I think that's going to be important as well. Anyway, I think that's it for my slide. We got numerology, we got seasonal decans, we got moon phases. Again, everything, links in the description for literally everything that you've seen. Let's go through it one more time here. Astrology. You don't got to kill yourself, but hey, if you can pick it up. Again, I would do a review on this. This guy gave me this for free, and I was like, cool. But it does have a lot of information on decans. You don't have to get his. By the way, he is Brandition on Etsy. I think he sells his things for like $11. You also can get this, which looks a lot worse. That looks really like Jesus. That looks like something that's going to give me a migraine. But I mean, hey, if you're like this, ooh, I want that. This person sells this for $8. So again, you can get posters that are, decent sized for pretty cheap on Etsy. It'll give you sort of a warm up, and you can kind of go through and look at it. This is one of the advanced topics I've been talking about today. You don't have to memorize this. You're going to pull your hair out. Bottom line, get a look up. What did Einstein say? I'd rather, I'm going to butcher the quote, but Einstein said something along the lines with, I don't have to memorize everything. I can just look it up. So I think that's going to be important too. So looking it up, that's going to be there. Anyway, so that is it. Does anybody have any questions? Otherwise, I'm going to go eat dinner. Let me know. Anybody have any questions across here? Did we get some trolls? I didn't see any trolls. I was busy presenting. Do I need to turn on some modes over here to stop the trolls, or no? Hopefully we didn't. Anyway, anybody have any questions real quick? Einstein was a Pisces. Well, that's what I'm talking about. See? They don't have anything better to do. All right. Well, anyway, so this is a preview of what you get in the Patreon. We do a weekly stream. Patreon gets news early. Patreon gets drawing lessons galore. Patreon gets tons and tons and tons and tons of other stuff. Also do behind the readings where I analyze the readings, but I've been negligent on that, but I'll get back to it. But anyway, yeah. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate that. If you do have any questions, put them in the comments. I read every single comment. All 12 years, I've read every single comment on the channel, and I will continue to read every single comment, and I will answer your questions the best I can. And if you have a complex question, I might make a different video just for you. So thank you all for being here. We will see you, if you're a Patreon subscriber, we'll see you next week. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow night for the standard stream.